Hey Flosstube, it's Lori of Mischievous Stitches. I'm back this weekend with a little update to share with you what I've been cross-stitching, crocheting, some junking finds, and just pretty much what I've been up to for the past few days. So I'm going to jump right in. This past weekend was a 3-day weekend for me from work. So on first thing Saturday morning, my husband and I jumped in the car and headed to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to attend a Jamie Johnson concert at House of Blues there in Myrtle Beach Saturday evening, and I had an amazing time. I've been to several different concerts, but this one was a smaller venue, but it was just the fact that the whole crowd was engaged. It was electric. And I say that because prior to the opening act coming on and after the opening act, before Jamie came on, they were playing music in the background of the loudspeakers. So it was classic country music, Hank Williams, Sr., not Jr., Willie Nelson, David Allen Coe, Conway Twitty. Those of you that listen to country music, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. And they're playing these people over the loudspeaker, and the whole room, it seemed to be, were singing along with these songs. And the later it got in the evening, prior to Jamie coming on, the louder the roar of the singing become. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I kind of equate that to when I go to an opening night of a movie that's been, awaited to be released. And you get there and the movie theater's full, and it's usually those die-hard fans of either that comic or whatever it happens to be about, or that book. And the movie theater, everyone's excited, and so that electricity seems to, you kind of play off of it unintentionally, and it heightens my experience. So it was the same way at this Jamie Johnson concert, that the whole crowd was engaged with the music and with Jamie and the songs prior to him coming on. And so when he finally got there, we had whipped ourselves up into a fervor of we're just enjoying ourselves as much as we possibly could. So it made it an amazing concert. I wouldn't hesitate to go see him again. I wouldn't hesitate to attend a concert at that venue again. Just had an amazing time. So on Sunday, since we were in the city, we stayed for a couple of nights. We decided to visit some of the vintage, antique, junking, consignment shops. And so I found a few things that I brought home, and I'm only going to show you a couple of them. I didn't come home with a basket full. I just come home with a few things. But one thing I did pick up was some vintage cross-stitch hoops. I do not believe that any of these to be princess hoops or to be, I know they're not Duchess, but I brought these home. And they're all still tied together as they were in the shop. But I had never seen any with the fastenings that you can see here. And there's rust on this one here, just a little bit. But when you find vintage wood like this, a lot of times it's dry from disuse, that kind of thing. But or they have small, I guess you just say splinters, where the wood has dried and it's starting to crack. None of these have that. So to me, they were well used. They still fasten well. They're not cracked. They're not splintering. Especially this oval one, you can see that a little bit, it has the felt, and it's coming out right here on this edge, but it seems to be intact on the other, the rest of the circumference around this oval. And all of them do not have the felt inside. So if any of you have information on that, if you'll leave a comment below. I did try to do a little Google search on my phone to find out more about these, but I thought at $6 it was a steal, and I didn't want to hesitate picking them up. So I've been watching a lot of Flosstube this week, catching up with different ones. I have watched Joan and Kelly of the Joan and Kelly Show. Joan is always showing things, and I say, oh, I've got that. Oh, I've got that. I forgot to do that. Oh, that's how that looks when that's finished. She is such an amazing stitcher, and it seems like every one of their videos she's showing more and more of what she has as she's waiting for her house to get built. I guess she's digging these things out or packing these things up, and she's finding more in it, and that's great. And I was watching Julie of Gulf Coast Stitches this week, or earlier in the week, and so I had to make a quick online purchase. She showed, and I ordered from her, she showed a sampler on her video, and in the video she's calling out another Flosstuber, Lisa Kindred Stitcher, which I wasn't, I was listening to Julie but not actively watching. And because I have such common interests as Lisa, when she said, "Oh, Lisa, I had to look up," and it was this sampler. And this is Catherine Dickinson, 1840, by Scattered Seed Samplers. And I ordered this from Julie. And I also heard on another Flosstube this week that Julie had a sale site on her online website. And so I went to see what was in that, and I come across this one, which is a release at market last year. This is a Blackbird design, and it is in Blossoms as the Rose. And I've been wanting that because, being a Carolina girl myself, this really appealed to me. So I ordered this, and then I read in here, and it's actually a sampler. This is the original, and of course you can see there's nothing about South Carolina here. But what they have done with this sampler is made it their own, and I don't remember if it was Barb or Alma, but one of the two had relatives that at one time lived in the Bush River community in South Carolina, and so that's the reason they changed that up. And I may change that as well and leave the South Carolina part and maybe add the city that I live in, or the city that my grandfather was raised in, or the county, because we have many relatives still there. And because my grandfather's family had been there since Revolutionary War times, I thought maybe I would add that. We'll see. So I have that. And so this purchase led me to the Scattered Seed Samplers, which can be found on Etsy. And I'll try to remember to link them below. I bought another sampler. And where did I put that sampler? And it came when I returned today from my little trip. It had come in the mailbox. And this is Lydia Barnes Pigeon, 1827. And I just love this. The colors, it looks like, from what I can see, there's only about 10 colors on this piece. And it shows that it was stitched on 40 count Weeks Dye Works tin roof. But that doesn't look like tin roof to me. It looks more beige, taupey. But either way, I really like this piece. It's stitched with DMC, needlepoint silks, a Versoix. It looks great. So there's that. So those are my purchases. And have any of you started making a market list? I have. I've already sent in a request from Julie of what is it? Reflections and Framing? Needlework Reflections and Framing? Julie, I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong. I went to her site because she has a list, several postings, updating what the market releases are going to be. And I'm looking through them. You know, I'm taking a trip. I'm on a road trip. I'm in the car for several hours, and I'm just checking the market releases. And it's not a good combination. Lots of time to kill, but I can't get up and move around and my phone with market releases. So I made a quick message to Julie, who she's responded, and she's put me down for these releases, and I'm still waiting to see something from Blackbird. Brenda Gervais has, once again, just amazing releases. Lila's Studio, she has a sampler. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name, but I'll show it to you when I get it. Who else did I catch? There was a couple that I got from her that one, or at least one that I don't remember the name. It's a new to me designer name. I don't recall seeing it before, so I'm excited about those, but I'm still waiting to see releases from Blackbird and Lottie Da and Beth Twist. So I'm sure there's more to come, but I've already pinned Clint down and said, you know, our local shop's going to have a market sale on this day, and can we just head up that way? Have a road trip that day and give me an hour or so to shop, and we can do whatever you want to do. Sure. So I got myself penciled in. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, I've got a couple of questions this week, and one is on this sampler here. I've mentioned it before. I often get questions. Let me just pull it down real quick. This is the Sarah Spur sampler, and this is by Kathy Barrick. I think this was done under can't talk about something if I can't remember the name. Anyway, a Kathy Barrick design. I know she has a website. You can look this one up. I believe it's still for sale. I don't think it's out of print. I've seen it pop up from time to time on 123 Stitch, but I often get questions about this piece, and it's a beautiful piece. I stitched it several years ago, so I thought I'd mention that again. I have, last week I put up a couple of my baskets on Instagram for sale, and they went pretty quick, so thanks to those that purchased those baskets. I did stitch 2 more to put up later on today, so those will be up. I've gotten questions about those. So many of you have let me know that you're stitching in yourself and tagging me in your finishes on Instagram, which I absolutely love, and that's because it inspires me, because everyone has their own color choices. And it also inspires me to see that others are interested in the same thing I'm interested in. And like I said, just like the concert, I kind of feed off of that. So I'm going to show you the ones that I've worked on this week. I finished this one on the way up. And this is black, white, gray, and a khaki color. Same basket, same pattern. I didn't change anything about it. I stitched this one. I had started this, I think, Thursday evening, Friday. It was Friday. And I had gotten the base of it done and maybe a couple rows in the round. And then I worked on it on and off the whole trip to Myrtle Beach on Saturday and finished it within minutes of us arriving at the hotel to check in. So I had that one. And then I started this one yesterday evening. Let me get the... I have a little bit of yarn left. I started this one Saturday. Let me get this right. Sunday evening. I'm off because Monday's a holiday. Today's a holiday. So I started this one Sunday night in the hotel room when we got back in, and I finished it up on the way home today. And this is navy blue, gray, baby blue, and a little bit of white. And so I'll place these up later today on my Instagram page. I had questions of how long it takes me to stitch them. I think it's about 3.5 hours from my home to Myrtle Beach. So I was actively stitching on them that entire time, but remember I had already stitched the base for that. So I think it takes about an hour, hour and a half for me to stitch the base. And so I'm thinking, gauging maybe 5, 6, and this is my best guesstimation, 5 to 6 hours to finish the piece. And I've had other questions about the yarns, and I have been using just the, I love this yarn. Yeah, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby to make them. I have found that when I'm making them, that they work up best with, I have been using 2 solid colors and 1 variegated color. but they seem to work up best and have more color variation, of course, and to me they're prettier when I'm using two variegated and a solid. So I picked these up today. Yeah. And I just, you never really know because you're using 3 skeins of yarn or 3 strands of yarn. I'm just not real sure how they're going to work up until I work them up. So choose what you like. The colors you like, just go for it. That would be my suggestion. So I have these, and what else about them? I know that Lori of Once Upon a Stitch here on Flosstube, she said that she had a couple of friends and she were going to get together and start a basket as a group, and I thought that was just a great idea. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, Lori, and hear all about it, and hopefully in your next Flosstube. So there was that. And what else did I want to say about the baskets? I don't remember. I just also, this is what I do want to say, it's just the support from everyone that is out there. That's what's so great. We say it all the time about this community, is crochet is a new adventure for me, so I'm so excited about it, and I'm just absorbing all the knowledge that I can get. And all of you out there that are crocheters, and not even those that crochet, but that are just Flosstube watchers, y'all are so supportive. I want to do a granny square quilt at some point, and so I will. And it kind of sounds like well, it is. I'm on the fence about it. I want to know. See, I'm getting excited. I want my knowledge to be what I personally need it to be, and I want to be confident in what I'm doing when I get to the point to start it. But so many of you on my last video are like, just go for it. And I mean, Vanna was just so supportive. And Lisha, the Southern Ladybug, who, if you've not checked out her Flosstube, she is a crocheting maniac. She does these, I forget what she calls them, but these little animals for her friends' children and things. Just check her out and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. She's way more advanced than I am, no matter what she wants to say. But she left a wonderful comment and just kind of said, you know, you already know the basic stitches. If you're doing what you're doing, I can tell you know the basic stitches. You can do this. You got this. And for a new person, that's what you need, your Stitch sisters and brothers to say, hey girl, you got this. So thank you so much, Lisha, for leaving that comment, and Vanna. So I do want to throw those thank yous out there and to tell you that I have decided, and it was in someone else today, I can't remember her Instagram name, but had finished an Attic 24 Granny Stitch Afghan. And I commented on it, and once again, you can do this. You can do this. This is where it's found. So thank you so much for that. So when I went to pick up 3 more skeins of yarn for another basket, guess what? I picked up some colors, and I'm going to start, as soon as I finish my other blanket, which is part of my Stitch 9, I'm going to start a Granny Stitch blanket. So I'm going to show you the colors I've chosen. It's not all of them. This is just what I've picked up today. You ready? I don't know how many colors I need, but I want all the colors, and I want all the yarn. This is rust, not red. Is that one to go in there? That one doesn't go in there. Maybe it does. It does go in there. Can you see that? I love my yarn. Isn't that what this is called? I love this yarn. So this is the start. So I still want to get a couple of blues and maybe a taupey in between this one and that one. And I love the green, and I love the brown, I love the orange and the rust. These are my colors. I'm a fall girl, and I just love this. So this is the start of something beautiful. I love it already. Can you see? Okay, I'm just going to drop it in the floor. Update on Susan. Again, so many comments. Socks for Mom, Becky. She's tagged me in a post yesterday that she had just gotten this piece in the mail and that I had enabled her. I take those enablement tags as a compliment because I love it when you guys enable me. Just love it. So here is my update. Not much to show. I did stitch more on this motif here, which is going to eventually be a cartouche with my name in it. And I finished up this flower and did the outline for this flower and a little more of the vine. So I'm going to work on this tonight while clothes are washing from the trip. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still going to continue to work on her. A few people have asked where I got that pattern. Clint had bought it for me, and he said he got it from a site called Everything Cross Stitch. He said the service was pretty good. It got here within a week, so there was that. What else? Any other questions about it? I can't remember. I wrote it down, and I'm not even looking at my notes. I'm terrible about that. I think that's it though. So I'm going to continue to work on Susan Rambo. I'm going to continue to work on the blanket. I've not worked on it at all this week. There's some more questions that I have received about this blanket. What colors I chose. I did just what I did today, unfortunately. I went into a Hobby Lobby. I chose colors that I like. And generally I chose a variegated that I like. Tried to match up colors with that. So color scheme, it's not written down anywhere. Unfortunately, I did not keep the bandings on the skeins to be able to give you more information on it. Sorry about that. So I will continue to work on this. I got a couple of questions, comments on this piece that I picked up last weekend for $1. I was told that this is not crochet, that this is knitted. I was also told not to assume because there's still tails that this was not finished. So this was knitted and not crocheted. I was told it was the feather and fan pattern, and that there were more than one. It may be unfinished because that specific person had stated that there was more than one edge that had the scallop, and that more than likely I need to block it, which I do not know what it means. I've heard the term. I have not blocked anything myself, so I do need to check into that. I haven't done so yet, and that's it. So I hope everyone has a great week. Hello, Mr. Sun. I hope everyone has a great week. Gets lots of stitching in, and your week is filled with happiness. Until next week, hugs and stitches. Bye-bye.